This October, this country is facing possibly the worst financial crisis to hit it since the war. With the rising cost of fuel, with the increase of bills, increase of food, Brexit, the war in Ukraine, and still the impact of COVID, it's the perfect storm to hit this country. People are going to face challenging times, to pay their bills, to stay warm, to be able to eat, and it's going to be a dark and a very challenging time. But the church is called to be the light in the darkness, to believe in the God of the impossible, that through him all things can change. And we are asking the church to respond. Derby City Mission, Derby Food for Thought, and Derby City Vision are asking the church to do three things. We're asking the church to pray, we're asking the church to act, and we're asking the church to give. We believe that through God, we can see things change. So united together, let's believe for something different this winter for our city.
As the church is together in Derby, we want prayer to be our first response rather than our last resort. We know as the winter approaches, as we hear more and more about the crisis that is coming, that it seems an insurmountable problem. It is overwhelming, and there is no way we can face this or bring change unless God intervenes. And so we're calling the churches to pray. Would you join us on the first Wednesday of each month from October through to March? We're going to gather in different locations across the city and we're going to pray. United together as the church in Derby, let's seek God. Let's ask for his intervention. As it says in Psalm 18, by my God, I can leap over a wall. May this wall be knocked down through the power of prayer as together we gather and we ask that God would move in this city, in this time, for his glory.
We at Derby City Mission are really concerned about the deepening cost of living crisis, as I'm sure you are too. We are really concerned about the poverty that we're seeing in our city, and it has been growing intensity and scale over the last few years. We're seeing people at the moment who are already struggling with heating and eating, and sometimes they're having to make that impossible choice in using our food bank to help them. But over the coming months, our biggest concern is there are going to be periods of time when people won't be able to do either. So when we're faced with such an enormous problem, what can we do? Well, we can act. Do you have space within your church building to be able to provide a community meal throughout the winter, to provide a hot meal in a warm space with friendly company? Are you able to give your time into that, doing something really meaningful and actually something that will make a big difference to the lives of those that are struggling? There are many volunteer opportunities available through Derby Food for Thought and Derby City Mission as we look at different ways that we can try to address this massive problem. Would you be able to provide extra food items to your local food bank to help them when the demand on their services will be enormous? Ultimately, we serve a God who is full of hope, and he brings hope into even the most desperate of situations. Let us all be the kind of people who aren't afraid to check in on our neighbours, our friends, our family, our work colleagues. Let's be the kind of people that check in and see how people are doing, and let's do this together so we can bring hope into this city during a really dark period. We do need you, so please come and help. Let's act.
We believe that we will need £250,000 to help people get through this winter. This money will help provide, food parcels. It will help provide community meals, it will help provide debt support, and we can create our own crisis fund to help people in the challenging situations. We currently do not have this resource, and we recognise that it is a big amount, but we believe in our God, who is our provider. Elisha asked the woman, "What do you have?" And she said, "Nothing but just a little bit of oil." And he told her to go to friends and to families and to gather as many jars as she can, and to close the door and to pour the oil that she had. And as we know, the story tells us that she poured the oil until every jar was full to the brim, and as the last bit of a jar was filled, the oil stopped. Our God is an amazing God who can provide all things, and we are asking you to prayerfully consider, what can you do to help us this winter? What can you give out of faith to help those in our city to ensure that nobody starves and that nobody freezes to death this winter. Please, we need your help. Together we can make a difference and see a difference made in our city. Thank you.